this, that, the third, the fourth. And it's like, girl, did you want to get back in touch with me just to see if I'm good? Or did you want to get back in touch with me to see if you shitting on me? Like, I'm just confused. Whew, really good. Hey, what's good, y'all? Welcome back. Today I want to talk to y'all about the consequences of setting boundaries. Boundaries are so important, but a lot of times when we try to set boundaries with our interpersonal relationships, you may have some negative consequences. So we're going to talk about those consequences in today's video. And if it's your first time stopping by my channel, my name is Sweets, and I basically create content to help you figure out how to create heaven on earth for yourself. So if that sounds like your type of party, you already know what to do. Let's get into the video. So before we talk about boundaries, I think it's important that we talk about what even are boundaries. To me, boundaries are an essential part of self-care. Boundaries validate you because so often we spend time making ourselves uncomfortable because we want to be there for everyone and things like that. But at the end of the day, what about you? Boundaries help us reinforce our value. You are valuable and you deserve to have great relationships where you are appreciated and respected and supported. We also have to set boundaries because they minimize our risk of emotional harm. There's no way you can ever avoid emotional harm completely, but when you set boundaries, that makes sure that the people who do have emotional access to you meet your standards of how you feel like you deserve to be treated. Now, let's get into the negative consequences of setting these boundaries. The first negative consequence that you may feel is isolation. At the end of the day, if you share your boundaries with somebody and they're not willing to respect them, set the boundary anyway, okay? Forget them people. But the consequence of setting that boundary may be that you have a period of isolation. You may end up not having as many people close to you as you thought. But why would you want people close to you who don't respect you and value you and hear you when you tell them what you need emotionally? You want people who are emotionally supportive of you on your journey. Now, the next negative consequence of setting boundaries is that you're probably going to get a little anger from the person. It's like literally, people will get upset with you for setting boundaries, like as if, how could you care more about yourself than you care about them? Baby, what? Listen, if you do have this experience, which I'm hoping you don't, but if you do have this experience, then you may need to kind of start to slowly pull the spoon out of the tiger's mouth. It's not always great to just yank the spoon out, but just slowly pull back from that person. And a lot of times what'll happen is that person will be like, well, what's going on? And then you can be like, well, you know, you didn't seem to want to respect my boundaries, and I didn't feel like the boundary I'm setting is like crazy. And so as a result, I had to call back some of my energy and I had to pull back from you because I don't feel like it's fair to sacrifice my own feelings for you. Like, that is not okay. And real friends and your tribe and the people who are really down for you will never ask you to sacrifice or betray yourself to make them comfortable, period. Now, the last negative consequence of setting boundaries is going to be guilt. You're going to feel bad. I'll give you an example, right? What I've learned about myself is I just can't do surface level. I'm a very deep person. I like connection and I value that. And so I used to have this friend who, she had 1,511 friends, but I think she more so did it to validate herself than actually because she liked these people. You just racking up friends so that you can feel good about yourself and feel like you're a good person because so many people fuck with you. And I don't feel that. So I felt like the relationship was really surface level with her. So I called my energy back. I changed my number, not just for her, but just for other reasons and other people who have my information that I didn't want them to have it anymore. But I had changed my number, removed her from Instagram, shout out IG for that remove feature, dead ass. And so I was just like, you know what, I'm good on this situation. So I pulled back. Now, side note, I have gotten better at that because I'm the type, I used to be the type of person as a Gemini, I'll just yank the spoon out your mouth. Cause damn it, I ain't about to explain that to no grown ass person who probably already know what they're doing anyway. All right, but I have gotten better at giving people the respect and the opportunity even to show up and be better for me and be a better support for me. And if people don't know what you need and you don't take the time to share it with them, then it's not fair to just pull yourself away from them. You haven't even talked to them and given them an opportunity to improve how they show up with you. But in this particular situation, I Went ahead, I yanked the spoon out of her mouth, removed her from my Instagram, did not give her my new number, boom. Maybe a couple months go by and she found me on Instagram. I'm like, how, Sway? And she's like, oh, I've been looking for you, how are you, da-da-da-da-da. So I was like, I've been good, you know. Whole time I'm feeling this dread, and that is a sign that you need to set some boundaries with somebody. Is when that person comes and you interact with this person, you feel a dread in your chest. That ain't it. That ain't it, and that person not for you. You need to like dead that ASAP. You feel me? So yeah, like I got the message, and then I go in there, and she's just like, hey girl, I felt this dread in my chest. So I felt guilty, and so I shared my number with her. And so when I shared my number with her, we were texting, but when we were texting, it was less of her actually checking on me, like, girl, how have you been? I've been thinking about you, thinking about da-da-da-da about you. Are you okay? Not really a concern. This bitch hit me up to do some humble bragging. Yeah, just bought a house. Me and my boyfriend moving in together. This, that, the third, the fourth. And it's like, girl, did you want to get back in touch with me just to see if I'm good? Or did you want to get back in touch with me to see if you shitting on me? Like, I'm just confused. You know what I'm saying? So I really didn't like our texting interaction, but I just texted with her and boom, the conversation kind of got tapered off. But then I was sitting there with it and I was like, you know what? I can't. I gotta keep it $150. Like, I can't. So I sent her another text. I was like, hey girl, there's a reason you didn't get my new number, and there's a reason why I removed you from my Instagram. And I shared with her that I value deep relationships, and I didn't feel like we had a deep relationship. I told her I felt like our relationship felt very surface level. Like, this girl will go traveling all the time throughout the year, never once invited me on a trip. I have my passport and everything, like, never once invited me on a trip. To me, my friends don't do that. Like, my friends, if they're having a girl trip, I'm invited. Like, what are you talking about? Like, no, you feel me? So I shared that with her. I was like, look, this is how I've been feeling, and I can't have no relationships like that where you're just, you know, no. And so she got really upset. She was like, oh, I take this personal. I looked for you online, da-da-da-da-da-da. And I'm like, don't take it personal. I'm just letting you know that this is how it feels. And that's just what it was. But I did feel bad, because when you set boundaries with somebody, then they can start to internalize that, and they can start to feel like, dang, well, there's something wrong with me. So you are gonna feel guilt. But the people who really love you, and the people who are really down for you, and the people who really value you and really want you in their life will hear you, and they will respect your boundary. Because I did the same thing with my best friend. She did something, I shared with her how it made me feel. She was like, oh my gosh, I'm sorry, you're right. And we just even thicker than thieves. It improved our relationship. So yes, but you will probably feel guilt, just for the simple fact that nobody likes to be the bad guy, but set the boundary anyway. Look, if you don't take anything else from this video, I want you to take away, set the boundary anyway, because that's just tea, period. Now, we've talked enough about the negative consequences. It's time for us to talk about the positive consequences. Yes, consequences are not just negative. There are positive consequences. Now, the first positive consequence of boundaries is that you're sending a signal out to the universe that I am worthy of the best. And when you send that signal out to the universe or to God, or you're showing, what you're doing is you're showing that I only want good experiences with people and situations around me, and you're gonna start to attract better experiences. Because I'm telling y'all right now, it is July, back maybe between November and like January, baby, I kept the scissors in my hand. I've been cutting people off, distancing myself from people, all of that. And what I've noticed is I've attracted better experiences. I'm attracting the type of experiences that I want and the type of experiences that I like. So that is a positive consequence. You're gonna start attracting better experiences. Now, another positive consequence of boundaries is that your self-worth is going to improve, because your relationships around you are going to improve, because the relationships around you are going to be better and more fruitful, and you're going to actually want to interact with these people. You're going to start to feel better about yourself because you have better people around you. And the last positive consequence of setting boundaries is that you get to attract a new tribe. Yes, you're going to make room for new people to come into your life, and there is going to be a little waiting period, but I will take new people who value me and who are a perfect 10 in my eyes, as opposed to somebody who just be making me feel like, I don't really like this person. So at the end of the day, y'all, I think in the long run, there's gonna be a period of being uncomfortable. Set the boundary anyway. You may be met with anger. Set the boundary anyway. You may feel bad about it. Set the boundary anyway, because at the end of the day, you are worthy of the best experiences. You are worthy. You are worthy to be treated like just a precious gem, because that is what you are. And on this journey of setting boundaries, please, please be gentle with yourself. You may have a period where you're alone more. You may have a period where you just feel bad about it, and you may try to backpedal, and yeah, you might, but if you do backpedal and you let that boundary go, you're probably gonna see, you know what, this is exactly why I set that damn boundary, and then you're gonna reset that thing. So, set the boundary anyway. You are worthy, you are a precious gem, and you deserve to be treated with love, respect, and just the utmost care. And that's just all I have to say about that. So give this video a big, fat, thick thumbs up. Shout out Denzel Dion. And make sure you comment down below and let me know what resonates with you. I mean, I love reading comments. I love interacting. So please, 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 we are all about community here. Get those comments popping with whatever you want to say. I don't even care. Just whatever is on your heart and whatever you're led to say. I am here. I can't wait to read your comments. I will see you guys in the next video. And thank you so much for watching. Mwah.
1, 2, 3, let's switch this up.